Bob Marley. A dark spot forms under a toenail, small, easy to ignore. The kind of thing most people would chalk up to a bruise from a football match and move on with their lives. Bob Marley notices it in 1977. Doctors look at it and their faces change. It is melanoma, one of the most aggressive forms of skin cancer there is, and it has shown up in one of the worst possible places. The fix is straightforward. Amputate the toe. Do it early. Stop it from going anywhere else. But Bob says no. His personal beliefs do not allow it. The body must stay whole. It is a decision made from a place of deep conviction, not ignorance. But cancer does not care about conviction. It does not pause out of respect. From that moment, it begins moving, quietly, deliberately. From the toe into the lungs, from the lungs into the liver, from the liver into the brain. By 1980, Bob collapses while jogging in New York. The truth of how far things have gone becomes impossible to ignore. He flies to Germany for treatment, fights hard, holds on longer than most people expect him to, but he never makes it home to Jamaica. On May 11th, 1981, Bob Marley passes away at just 36 years old. Some medical experts later suggested that early treatment might have significantly changed the outcome. One decision, made with full belief, and it cost the world one of its greatest voices. Avicii, a hotel room in Muscat, Oman. April 20th, 2018. Avicii was 28 years old. He had already done what most musicians spend their entire lives chasing. Sold out arenas, hundreds of millions of streams. A sound that an entire generation grew up listening to. He had everything the world told him he was supposed to want, and he was exhausted in a way that fame cannot fix. For years, his body had been sending him signals. His stomach, his pancreas, the anxiety that came with. Standing in front of 80,000 people and pretending everything was fine. In 2016, he did. Something almost unheard of for an artist at his level. He walked away from touring completely. He said, enough. He chose himself. But walking away from the stage doesn't mean the weight walks away with you. On April 20th, he was found in his hotel room. He was no longer alive. The official report later confirmed that he had taken his own life. The world went quiet in a way it rarely does. Tributes came from every corner of the music industry, but underneath all of it was one question nobody really wanted to say out loud. How did someone so celebrated feel so alone? His family later spoke about his struggle. A sensitive soul, they called him. Someone who wanted to find meaning beyond the music. He found something, just not what any of us were hoping for. Eazy-E, a hospital bed in Los Angeles. March 1995. Eazy-E went in thinking it was asthma. That's what everyone assumed. A respiratory problem, something manageable, something that gets treated and then you go home. He was 30 years old. He was one of the most powerful names in hip-hop. He had built an empire from nothing in Compton. Asthma made sense. What came next did not. The diagnosis was AIDS. Just weeks before he died, Eric did something that took a different kind of courage than anything he had ever rapped about. He told the world, publicly, no hiding, no carefully managed silence. He put out a statement and he let people sit with the truth. A man who had built his entire image around being untouchable was now showing everyone exactly how human he was. The hip-hop world didn't know how to process it. On March 26, 1995, Eric Wright passed away at the age of 31. He had been in the hospital for less than 2 months. His condition progressed rapidly according to reports at the time. Here, one moment, gone, before anyone could fully understand what was happening. But what he left behind was bigger than music. His death forced an entire community to have conversations that had been avoiding. About the virus, about who it affects, about the shame that stops people from getting help until it is too late. Eazy-E walked so that conversation could finally start. Amy Winehouse. A voice like that doesn't come along twice, and somehow the world spent more time talking about her chaos than listening to what she was actually saying. July 23rd, 2011. London. Amy Winehouse was found in her home. She was 27 years old. The cause, ruled by the coroner, was alcohol poisoning. Her blood alcohol level was reported to be extremely high. Here's the part that makes it harder to process. She had been trying, and the weeks before, she had attempted to get clean, a rehabilitation stint, a real effort, but sobriety, for someone whose relationship with substances ran as deep as hers did, is not a switch you flip once and walk away from. She relapsed, and this time, her body was not able to recover it. What gets lost in the tabloid version of Amy is the actual scale of what she was carrying, the anxiety, the eating disorder, the grief, the kind of fame that puts a camera on your worst moments and calls it entertainment. She was not a cautionary tale walking around in a dress. She was a person, struggling, in plain sight. She joined a list nobody wants to be on, the 27 Club. We lost her at the same age as Hendrix, Joplin, Morrison, Cobain. Back to Black was her goodbye letter. She just didn't know it yet. The World Got Thee album. Amy never truly found the peace. Marilyn Monroe. Nobody finds a star like that and just moves on. August 5th, 1962. Los Angeles. The housekeeper noticed the light still on under the bedroom door. Late. Too late for it to mean anything good. She knocked. No answer. She went outside and looked through the window. Marilyn Monroe was lying on her bed. The phone was in her hand. She passed away. The official ruling was a probable barbiturate overdose, most likely self-inflicted. But that word, probable, that one word cracked open a mystery that is never fully closed. Here is what we know. The months before her death were not quiet ones. She had been let go from film. Her sleep was disappearing. She relied heavily on medication during that time. The people around her were worried. She was one of the most photographed humans alive and somehow still completely unreachable. Here's what we don't know. Almost everything else. The timeline had gaps. The evidence had questions. Over the years, various theories have been discussed, but no conclusive evidence has ever confirmed them. Decades of investigations, documentaries, and books later, nobody has given the world a clean answer. What remains is this. A woman the entire planet claimed to love died alone in a dark room at 36. And the same world that couldn't stop watching her couldn't manage to actually see her. That is the part that should stay with you. Prince. The elevator doors opened, and staff immediately knew something was wrong. Paisley Park, Minnesota. April 21st, 2016. Staff found him unresponsive on the floor of the elevator inside. His own home. Prince. The man who had filled arenas for 4 decades. The man who had more unreleased music locked in his vault than most artists record in a lifetime. 57 years old. Suddenly lost before anyone could even understand what they were looking at. The cause took time to confirm. When it did, it hit differently than anyone expected. Fentanyl and accidental overdose. Here's the part that makes it genuinely tragic. Prince wasn't chasing a high. He was chasing relief. He had been dealing with chronic pain for years. Hip problems, the kind that come from decades of performing in heels, throwing yourself across stages, giving every single show everything your body has. He needed help. According to investigators, he may not have been fully aware of the exact contents of the medication he had taken. A man that brilliant, that private, that completely in control of every aspect of his art and his image, undone by something he didn't fully understand was happening to him. The opioid crisis has a lot of faces, nameless ones that never make headlines. Prince's face made the whole country look up and pay attention for a moment. The question is whether that moment lasted long enough. It didn't. Kurt Cobain. Some people are too loud for the world to actually hear them. Kurt Cobain spent years screaming into a microphone and somehow still felt completely invisible. April 5th, 1994. Seattle. Kurt was found at his home. He was 27 years old. His death was later ruled a suicide. The world stopped for a moment. Then it kept moving, the way it always does. Kurt was the lead vocalist, guitarist, and primary songwriter of Nirvana, a band that didn't just top charts, but redefined what rock music could sound like in the 90s. He built that from nothing, from Aberdeen, Washington, from a broken home and a bedroom and sheer restless hunger. But here is what the headlines skip past. Kurt had been in pain long before fame found him. A chronic stomach condition that doctors could never fully diagnose. the kind of pain that grinds you, down day after day with no clean answer and no real relief. He turned to heroin because it was the only thing that made the physical pain quiet down. That distinction matters. Then add the depression, the pressure of becoming the reluctant voice of a generation when all he wanted was to make music and be left alone. Nevermind sold 30 million copies, 30 million people, projecting their own pain onto a man barely holding his own together. He joined the 27 Club sadly. Music sounds like someone trying to outrun something. He never quite managed it. David Bowie. He knew. The whole time, he knew. For 18 months, David Bowie carried a secret that would have broken most people completely. Liver cancer. Advancing. Quiet. He told almost nobody. No public statements. No sympathy tours. No. Carefully managed announcements designed to keep his name in the headlines. Instead, he went into the studio. What he made there was Black Star. An album so strange and so beautiful that critics couldn't stop talking about it. It dropped on January 8th, 2016, his 69th birthday. The reviews were glowing. Fans were celebrating. The internet was full of people saying this might be his best work in decades. 2 days later, he died. January 10th, 2016. Liver cancer, 18 months of fighting it in complete silence. And then just gone. The world went back to the album immediately, and this time, everything sounded different. The lyrics that seemed abstract suddenly had weight. The imagery that felt artistic suddenly felt like a message. Because it was. He had been saying goodbye the entire time and disguised. It is art so perfectly that nobody caught it until it was too late to respond. That was David Bowie until the very end. Completely in control of his own story. Turning even death into something worth paying attention to. Most people spend their final days being comforted. He spent his, making sure we had something to remember.